Hey, I love you so fucking much. We're back to our roots. Once upon a time, I had a channel and I deleted it. It was like a midlife crisis thing, but I also had built up the channel on like a lot of lust vibes. And the premise of the channel was, it's everyday Chalisa. Work, sing, pray, love, whatever. Every day, right? And yeah, so I deleted and rebirthed the channel as we know it today. But in that first channel, what I had to do was work. I work a lot. And then I started making time, in space for me to do the videos by themselves. But right now I have a lot of work to do. But also have a lot of shit I want to say. So we're going back to that. And then what I'll do is when it's time to do the devotion practice of Bhakti Yoga, I will make the time and space to sing for that. So, oh my gosh. I've had like the most blessed week in the universe. And, it takes a village, right? I didn't have a blessed week by myself. However, I am by myself in the sense that I'm the only one experiencing my reality the way that I am. But yeah, I have learned that the root of wealth and having your survival needs met and, abundance, like the choice of like multiple resources as you need them, like when you need them, that all is manifest from a state of being of calm, like not getting upset. And obviously we have to get upset about things, but I guess it's like a difference in a definition. Like to be upset, to like be in like triggered. Like I think what the old world described as evil is what we call mental illness, because the effects of an uncontrolled subconscious with lots of pain is quite evil. So, to have a good life and good things in it is to be in a state of calm. Absolutely. I got to go vacation at a place called Anna Maria Island, and it is a highly affluent area. And I got to go to the beach. I got to go to Publix. I got to ride around on my bike. Got to go to the beach on not my bike. I'm sorry. I used to have a bike. It was the rental house's bike. Anyway, yeah, I did that. And there was not one upset person anywhere. I certainly was not upset either. Back where I live right now, where I had to come back to, I go to the grocery store. There's somebody that's upset. There's a lot of upset people around here, and I'm also in like a, lower income area compared to where I just was. So, very easy thing to see is yes, you have your survival needs met, then you have the platform from which to, be all right. Okay. And when your survival needs are compromised, then you get upset in such a way that is, again, for lack of a better word, evil. For example, if like you see a scared or injured animal, they are not trying to be like, please come help me, hug me and love me back to life like I know you can. No, they are lashing out. They're trying to bite you. That is the protection mechanism of like the hardwiring of the brains that we have that were adapted to survive on this planet. We have dramatically shifted the ways that our brains, respond to this shit, because everything's different than what it knew. Oh my goodness. Anyways, yeah, I'm here and I love you. And I want to spread like this gospel of calmness as a means to spread abundance. Like, I've had a pretty abundant life, given I haven't really had, much wealth, like, financially, but I've had a lot of, like, I guess you call spiritual wealth. I have what I need when I need it. I am where I am when I need to be. And the only times that I've been, like, a sense of imprisonment in my own life relates to my perception of reality. Like, yes, there are absolutely, physical, real world barriers to wealth, in the sense, like, right now there's, like, this one dude hoarding, like, over $400 billion worth of it or some shit like that, right? That's insane. Okay. Like, greed, what I was talking about with my really close friend who invited me to the miracle of the healing that was being at the vacation rental in Anna Maria Island. Greed is a deadly sin. We're considering the deadly sins. Greed is a horrible one. If, you have something to give, you should give it. And if there's something that you need to take, you should take it. But if you don't need to take it, or, you need to keep it because you need it for yourself, then that's all good. Greed is when you take the shit that you don't need, and then if you take it but you don't need it, it's like cool if you're trying to share it with somebody else, right? If you're taking and taking and taking and taking, and you have some people down the street from you who are part of your community who are starving, share with them. Like, that's like it's just like a basic tenet of humanity, as far as like what I understand from my upbringing in Hinduism, is that service work is absolutely vital to your own like reality experience with abundance. There's nothing that is selfless. Thomas Hobbes says like altruism doesn't exist, and I kind of tend to agree, because even when we perform service to others, it's still serving ourselves. But this is where the kicker gets. If you can drop your mind, like if you can like drop what you think about anything your heart is telling you to do, and like you follow your heart in service, then it's like you allow for the return of the blessing. If you think it's going to be a type of way, like, oh, okay, if I make these peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the homeless, then that means I'm probably going to get $50 on the street later or something. Then it's like, that shit doesn't happen. And then you're like, well, why did I even do that? That's what I mean about like setting up an expectation of return for acts of service. Sometimes the service is like a debt, maybe, there's no repayment, so to speak, or you're just not looking at it the right way. Because repayment for like a physical gift can come in the form of like emotional gift, or intellectual gift. Like, you can learn shit about yourself or the world around you through observing yourself, like being with yourself as you move and operate. And again, it's like whatever we pay the most attention to becomes God, right? So it's like if we're paying attention to all this bad shit all the time and not, paying attention to like the opposite, like the bad shit, like, well, what does the good shit look like, right? Like focusing on the good shit as a way to fight the evil shit. And to say, it's like if you start to get upset thoughts, to just fight that evil inside of you too, because your birthright is the bliss of being. And what it is to be human is to be here and now with what is. The prefrontal cortex as the mechanism to supersede the survival instinct, and to provide and protect and care for consciousness, like as manifest by the different beings on this planet. That's a beautiful thing. And that's where I'm at. And it's been such a cockamamie ride this past week to get here. And I'm grateful. And I would like to also, with, the intention of the old channel and the rebirth of the new channel, it's It was work and sing and love, you know. So let's sing. I still love doing mantras, you know, the Hindu devotional stuff. It makes me really happy. It's something I learned as a child, something that came back to me when I started like a spiritual path about 17 years ago. Without really knowing it, all I did was start being grateful for my life. That became like my religion, so to speak. And then from there, just the rebirth of like what I learned as a child in like my formative state. And thank God for chanting. Thank God for everything. And thank God, thank God, thank God. So here we go. Let's do Hanuman Chalisa. Shri Guru Charana Saro Jaraja Nijmana Mukuru Sudhari Varano Raghuvara Vimala Jasu Jadayaku Falachari Buddhina Tanu Jani Kai Sumirom Pavana Kumara Malaburi Vidya Dehu Mohin Harahu Kalesha Vikar Jaya Hanuman Gyanaguna Sagara Jaya Kapisha Tiyalo Kuru Jagari Ramaduta Tulita Palitama Anjani Putra Bhavana Sutanama Mahabira Bekrama Bajarangi Kumati Nivara Sumatikeya Sangi Kanchana Varana Viraja Suvesa Kandala Kundala Kunchita Kesha Hatha Vajaro Duvajiraje Kanje Munjanjane Usaje Shankara Suvana Kesari Nandan Teja Pratapa Mahajagavandan Vidyavana Guni Ati Chatur Ramakaji Karibeko Atur Prabhu Charitra Sumibeko Rasya Ramalakanasya Tamanavasya Sukshma Rupa Darasya Rikikava Vikata Rupa Dari Lankacharava Bhima Rupa Dari Asome Sangare Ramachandra Ke Kaja Savare Laya Sanjivana Lakanajiyai Shri Raghuvira Harashiralaye Raghupati ki hi potabarai Tuma mama priya paradai samabai Sasavadana tuma roja sangave Ashakara Shri Pati Ganda lagave Sanakadika Brahmardi Munyasa Narara Sharara Sairahyasa Jamakubera Deka Pala Jahante Kaviko Vidakai Sake Kahante Tumupakaru Sugriva Rikina Rama Melaya Raja Baradina Tumaro Mantra Bibhishanavana Lankeshwara Vaya Sabajagajana Juga Sahastra Jojana Parabanu Lilyo Dai Madurda Falajanu Prabhu Mujrika Mele Mukamai Jarari Lanjike Acharachanai Durgama Kaja Chikatake Jete Sugarama no Grama Dumare Tete Rama Duvare Dumarakavare Otnagya Binu Pesare Sabasukalahe Tumari Sharana Tumarak Shakaja Koko Darana Apanate Chasamaro Ape Tina Loka Ankate Kampe Buddha Pisajana Katanahiave Mahavira Jaganam Sonave Nase Roga Hari Sabapiera Japadari Rantana Hanumatabera Sangata Se Hanumana Chodave Manakrama Vajana Jana Jolave Sarvapada Rama Tapasvi Raja Tina Ke Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manorata Joko Hilave Soya Meta Jivana Palapave Charon Jukapada Tapatumara He Paraseta Jagata Ujiara Sankata Se Hanumana Chodave Manakrama Vajana Jana Jolave Sarvapada Rama Tapasvi Raja Tina Ke Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manorata Joko Hilave Soya Meta Jivana Palapave. Oops. Yes, baby.
Let me tell you one of my dreams that I had.
What was one of your dreams, baby?
And I was actually at some kind of house.
At a house.
But then it started hailing and raining.
Started hailing and raining.
And I thought that was a tornado, but it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't a tornado. That's good.
And once it stopped hailing and raining,
So once it stopped hailing and raining, you wanted to pick a hailstone from outside. That sounds just like when I was a little girl and it hailed. Charan Jukaparata Patumara, E Padasita Jagatu Ujiara, Sadhu Santake Tumarakavare, Asarari Kandana Rama Dulare, Ashta Siddhi no Nidike Adata, Asarbaradina Janaki Amata, Rama Rasayana Tumare Pasa, Sadada Hora Gupatake Adasa, Tumare Bhajana Rama Kopave, Janam Janamake Adukabisarave, Antakala Raga Parapura Jai, Janam Janama Hari Bhakta Karai, Ora Devata Chetana Dare, Hanumata se Sarva Sukha Kare, Sangata Kate Mere Subapira, Joso Mere Hanumata Balabira, Jai Hanumana Gosai, Kripa Karoho Guru Deva Kinai, Josara Barda Barda Kardakoi, Juta Biandima Asuka Oi, Joy Ragapade Hanumana Chalisa, Oya Sirisa Kigorisa, Tulasira Sasada Hari Chera, Kije Natara Daya Mahadera, Pavanata Naya Sankata Harana, Mangala Murati Rupa, Rama Makanasya Dasaita, Hridaya Vasava Surubup Sira Rama Chandra Paraje Sharanam. So once upon a time, I grew up in a cult, not like that stereotypical version you think of when it's like, oh, there's a compound and I slept in a cot and there's like Charles Manson there trying to get me to drink Kool-Aid or something. It wasn't like that. It was, if you're familiar, this Swami named Satya Sai Baba, and he resided in Puttaparthi, India. He died several years ago. I got to see him for his 69th birthday. And yeah, that dude said all religions are pathways to God. And I fucking believe it. And what's even cooler is it seems like, you know, all religions are pathways to, what am I trying to say? So it's like you have scientific approach to religion. Yes, you have like scientific approach to like energy and all that shit, right? And I have some, fellow scientists, so to speak, like myself, and it seems like there's kind of like a general vibe happening, like a consensual truth of what it means to like be an energy being and a physical body and stuff like that. And yeah, like when you get caught up in the dogma of the religion stuff, then, you're limiting the ability to like take God in too. It's like with Tantra, you have Shiva Shakti, you have the physical presence like of the atom, the particulate matter, and then you have the space that which also composes it. So that feminine component is, what gets called Shakti, and that it gets called feminine because it is a receptive process. So we're taking in God, like literally we have this crown chakra, and that is the word ideos, like from God, right? And it comes into our mind, we discern it, this thing, and then it excites in our hearts. Like that is what we are, is this like chi, prana flow of energy, and this mind and body is like the conduit through which we express God, right? Or consciousness, whatever. And on that note, back to wake. All right. I love you so fucking much. Like, so fucking much. For Uzzies. Bye.